Good day, my students. This is your fourth and last video tutorial in phase 1 gear up of this course. In this tutorial, we will see some cool commands regarding paragraph styling and one more text type, which I didn't add in the past tutorial because it was already a long and a hard tutorial, so I did prefer to give it to you in this section. We will start by marking up our paragraph that we want to make a change to it by clicking 3 times inside it. Then we want to change the paragraph to be right aligned. That means simply we want most of the paragraph to be with the right margin. Usually we use right alignment for subtitle, heading 2, heading 3, or any small content paragraph. We want the next paragraph to be center aligned, which means we want most of the paragraph to be within the middle margin of the document, without changing its height or width. Usually we use center alignments for quotes, title, and some heading. In other words, it gives the content a more formal appearance. In the third paragraph, we won't really make any change, but we still have to explain left alignment. We use left alignment to make sure our text is more readable, especially if we're going to print it out. The last text alignment is justify. It means simply we equally distribute our text within the margins of our document. Justify gives the paragraph a sharp looking. If we justified the whole document, the document would look cooler and more elegant, but the readability of the text will decrease. The next command is paragraph spacing. We use paragraph spacing for making space between paragraph lines or between paragraphs. After marking up the wanted paragraph and choosing the command, we will start gradually increase the spacing lines between our paragraph lines. I think 2 lines will suit us the most. We can also add a space between paragraphs by clicking on the same command, then go to line spacing option. A box will appear. We will go to the spacing division and increase the after spacing to 100 points. As you can observe, a large space has been created between our selected paragraph and the next paragraph. I will discuss the grid behind the line spacing command and text alignment command at the end of this tutorial. Next command is indentation. When you increase the indentation, you push the text forward. When you decrease the indentation, you push the text backward. This command is utterly important in lists. We can also indent the first line by clicking on this small box under paragraph group. Then we go to indent division. Then we click on the drop down arrow under special and choose first line. Then increase the value indentation and click OK, then done. We can also use ruler for indentation. I'm going to explain ruler at the end of this tutorial. Next, we want to change the background color of this paragraph. From shading command, we use it to make a paragraph look more unique than any other paragraph. I think brown would look cool. We can also choose not to add any color for our paragraph from no color from our shading tool, or we can pick any color from our preferences from more colors. That will display a box with 2 charts that represent many color gradients. In the following command, we're going to create borders. We create borders either to make a paragraph with higher importance or simply look more elegant. First, we will mark up our target paragraph. Go to borders command As you can observe, there's many types of borders. Bottom border, top border, um, left border, right border, also all borders and outside border. You might think, but what is the difference between all borders and outside borders? First, I have to mark up two paragraphs and go to borders command, then choose all borders. As you can observe, when we choose all borders, a line appeared between the two paragraphs. Unlike the outside borders, only the outline was created. And of course, we can choose the inside borders only, either horizontal borders or vertical borders. Vertical borders won't appear unless we split our documents into columns, which we will not do in this tutorial. Now I'll introduce you to the last type of text we're going to cover in our course, which is lists. We would start by typing our first unordered list of cities I would love to visit in the future. So Paris, London, Cairo, and Seoul. We will mark up them all and choose bulleted list command, which made a bullets appear next to my list. I can choose how I would like my bullets look like from the drop down arrow next to list command. Also, I can define a new shape for my bullets. Then I will click on a symbol. A box will show up with different shapes of bullets. I will choose the smiley face, then press OK. Voila. Next type of lists is the ordered list, where the order of the lists actually matter. For example, I want to make a list of 4 levels, so I will type level 1, level 2, level 3, and finally level 4. And I will mark up them all, then choose numbered list command. You can observe and ordered numbers will appear next to my list. And of course, I can choose how I want to number my list. So what if I want to have a first level bulleted list items that has a second level bulleted list items inside it? First, I will separate between the old list that I have done and my new list. Then I'm going to type the first level bulleted list that represent 3 academic categories: A students, B students, and C students. In the second level, I'm going to write the names of the students. We make a second level bulleted list by stroking tab on your keyboard, then typing your list items. In my case, I will write the name of the students. For example, Bob, Sally, and Noah. We can go back to level 1 by decreasing the indentation, or go to level 2 by increasing the indentation. We can also change the shape of level 2 bullets by first clicking on multi-level list and define a new multi-level list, choosing level 2. Then finally click on the drop down arrow under the number style for this level and pick how would you like the shape of your bullets to be. I will choose the shaded rhombus. Then press OK. To make sure you understood this part well, we will create a third level bulleted list together and change the bullets shape. So the third level bulleted list would be Ali, Rob, and Adele. So click on multi-level list, then define a new multi-level list and choose level 3. Then finally click on the drop down arrow. This time I will go to the bottom of the list, then choose a new bullet and define any new shape I would like to choose. I will choose flower shape, then press on OK, and done. The next part of our tutorial, I will show you 3 more interesting tools from our View tab. We will click on our View tab, then go to Show Group. These are our three tools. We will tick next to Navigation Pane to show the tool, and a sidebar will appear that has our document arranged based on our presetted values of heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3. This might be super useful if you're working with a huge document, because simply you can jump to the wanted section of the document easily. We will untick the navigation pane to hide this sidebar and tick on grid line to show the grid lines. We need grid lines to measure the margins of our document. For an example, this paragraph that we write aligned before, we can observe this paragraph is filling more right boxes, which represent the right margin, than left boxes, which represent the left margin. The following paragraph fills the center boxes, which represent the center margin boxes, because it was center aligned before. The next paragraph fill, of course, the left margin box because it was left aligned. And finally, the last paragraph, which is evenly distributed in the left, center, and right boxes because it was justified before. We can also measure the line spacing using grid boxes. For an example, in this paragraph, we made a 2-line spacing. Finally, to the last and the most popular tool in Word Office, the ruler. I will put my marker inside any paragraph of my choice and move this small triangle in the ruler to the right, which will cause a first line indentation in our selected paragraph. Also, we can select all the document by pressing on Ctrl and A, then move the small triangle to the right, which will indent the first line of all paragraphs in the document. Isn't the ruler the coolest tool? But actually it might make some problems with the headings and title, so we have to take care of what we select. Next, we're going to move this box to the right, and we can observe the whole document moving with us to the right. The opposite will happen if we drag this small triangle on the right to the left. We will observe the whole document moving with us from the right to the left. And done. This was your last tutorial in Phase 1 Gear Up Office course. If you need any extra tutorial, please inform me of which topic you want me to explain. I'll be glad to do any extra tutorials for my students. Take some rest and get ready for Phase 2.